Welcome, everybody, to Kick the Can podcast. I hope everybody's staying nice and warm out there. Little snow over the weekend. Nice football. And Kick the Can's back for a fresh episode. Really happy to have Frankie Pagnotta come on with us tonight. And we're going to toss around our culinary delights of growing up in the neighborhood, in the Bronx, memories that are food related. Frankie's got a good memory of things. Welcome back to Kick the Can, Frank.
Hello, Paul. How you doing?
Oh, real good.
Good to be back.
Yeah, glad to have you.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you're a big plus. I tell you all the time, you're a big plus for me. Because I get a little sideways sometimes, but I'm still having fun with it, and it's all good. And I know it's
funny. I was talking to somebody last night about killing a bunch of brain cells, and back in the day,
Yeah, and it's like sometimes the things you do remember, like why the hell you remember that? And then certain things are a total wipe out the memory, But
exactly,
and then I don't want to say, we're getting. Yeah, the reason is we're getting old. It's not Alzheimer's or this or that. We're just getting old, and we're in the trenches a long time. And now we're paying the price, but we're good. And Kick the Can is going to get everybody's memory banks, whether we get it right or wrong, right, Frank?
If we get it wrong, somebody will tell us.
Exactly, and we encourage it. So we were always talking, Frank, that we would talk about like how we ate and where we ate our food and how we had lunches and where we went, starting from help me out with like when we were actually on the block,
Well, let me change that a little bit, right? Let's talk about like at least my favorite subject, pizza.
Yeah.
And all of the places in the neighborhood and some of the places that are still there that like Mario's restaurant. I never realized how good their pizza was.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, that pizza was expensive.
Yeah.
And you weren't going to go in there and sit down and eat pizza because it was just too much money.
Exactly. You couldn't get a slice. You couldn't get a slice at Mario's.
They didn't sell slices. Exactly. Exactly. But, I mean, fond memories, along with a member of my mother, I went to PS 32, which was up the hill on Camberling Avenue. And not every Friday, but when we could afford it, we'd come down after she picked me up from school, and we'd go to the original Catania's.
Ah, that was on the end of Arthur Avenue?
Right, at the end of, across from where the new Catania's was.
Oh.
But yeah, at the end of Arthur Avenue by...
where the street wants to sort of curve a little bit on Crescent, it was in a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But their pizza was, and back then they only sold the Sicilian style and the calzone.
Right. So I'll tell everybody it was a little square calzone.
Yep.
And the pizza was only Sicilian.
Uh-huh.
And it was to die for. And, like from where we were on Hoffman Street, we wouldn't walk all the way to the end of Arthur Avenue for Catania. But when you were coming home from school, it fit right into your schedule. Now, when you were in school at PS 32, did they have a lunchroom, or what did you do for lunch? Did you bag lunch it? How'd that work?
Honestly, I probably bagged lunch. I don't remember it that vividly.
Yeah.
I do remember there was across the street from PS 32, there were two candy stores, Moe's, and Moe's used to have, at least from my taste buds, excellent meatball sandwiches.
Really?
So sometimes we'd go in there. And then there was across the street, there was another candy store. I forget the name, but it wasn't like Moe's had a counter and stuff. The candy store across the street for some reason, K's sticks in my mind, but I don't think that's the right name.
Yeah.
They were really more of a candy store. They didn't have food.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe somebody will chime in with
Yeah,
some their
yeah.
memories. And also, when you went to PS 45, now they let you out for lunch every day, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Until
So I would go home. I was
oh, so you used to go
five
home.
minute walk.
So you
Yeah.
would go home for lunch, and
Hmm.
sometimes if you a treat, you would go across to Vita's and get a half a cent.
Vitas or Mimi's.
Mimi's, yeah, yeah, yeah. That was our spot too.
One more pizza story,
Go ahead.
which you should know. You used to work there, Arena's Bakery.
Yeah, yeah.
Arena's used to on only on a Friday they would make pizza,
Yes,
and it
yes,
was
that's right.
different than all the other pizzas in the neighborhood
It-
because I guess because they used the dough was a bit different, but
right.
outstanding stuff. The pan was really oily. The bottom of the pizza was really oily. Excellent pizza there.
Yeah, on Fridays they would make, and he used the same dough as they made the bread with. They didn't
Yes,
make a big mix of,
right. So it was different.
and that's perfect because it was right near the school.
Hmm.
Uh, and,
Down the
and,
hill.
and we're since talking about the pizza too. Like for us, it was Mike's Hot Pizza, right on 187 was a spot to go for a slice.
Yep.
And I always
Well,
go ahead.
and don't forget Half Moon,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Because there was they used to put the guy outside and with the tent
And the
like
steam
that.
table, like a steam
The
table it
steam table.
was.
That's right.
That
And that was
pizza.
totally different than all the
That
pizzas.
pizza was
Now if you look at all
delicious.
these pizzas guys go around grading pizza, they talk about no flop. That was full flop,
Yeah. And they
but the
were
pizza was excellent.
not a big slice, the half moon
Nope,
pizza, and
nope.
and it was either a real coal stove or a real wood burning stove where you can see in and either
Yeah,
see the wood burning and see the charcoal. And so the
yeah,
pizza by itself, if you had it in the restaurant, like we would go occasionally after a dance or something,
hmm,
and we would go there big Friday night, go to the dance, and then go get a pizza and sit
yep,
down and all that.
yep,
But on a Saturday, they would take that pizza that was one of a kind, and then put it on the steam table outside, right in front of the restaurant, and people still gobbled it up for I guess
yeah.
20,
People wait in line to get
yeah,
that.
25 cents, right? I guess was the going
I don't
rate.
remember the prices, but there was one other pizza store that was outstanding, and this was on 187th Street, and I think it was Beaumont on the corner,
Okay.
and it was Mario's. And the reason I remember that place is, same thing. My mother was pick me up. We'd come down Camberling Avenue, make a right where Artuzo's is, and go up
Mhm.
the block. I think it was Beaumont Avenue.
Right, that's the next
Ma-
street, right?
yeah, Mario's Pizza. And the reason I remember it is I remember the Beatles songs. The guy used to have a jukebox, and whoever was in there would play all the
Oh,
Beatles songs.
oh, wow, that's
So
a
that must have been like 19 what, 65. I
65.
was
Yeah,
all of 10 years old,
yeah,
Yeah.
because
So that was Mario's Pizza.
yeah, and I always remember going to Mike's Hot Pizza right on 187 and Hoffman, and
You know the name of it before Mike's? Before the
oh
guy Mike bought it?
no,
Was an old Italian guy, Joe.
Joe, that's right,
Joe. And it was Joe, and he would be in there. He'd have his two daughters who were working in there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then he sold it to Mike. He was a short, stocky guy,
Exactly.
but Charlie was always making the pizza, right? Charlie Russo.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
So I always remember going there when it was like a night like tonight, freezing, and then
Uh huh.
for a quarter, you would go get your slice and then stay there until Charlie or Mike, they're just kicking you out, I
Had to
mean,
get out. Yeah, right.
yeah, and you go back out there. But the pizza was good. The pizza,
Yeah, yeah.
when I think about that spot where Mike's Pizza was, now I was off the corner. What was next to that before? was the Zip Club? It was that Vanacor's a drugstore? Do you remember?
Yeah, Vanacore was actually Vanacore's was below it. Or if you're coming from Arthur Avenue and you're coming up the block,
Yeah, toward
Vanacore's
Hoffman,
was next to it.
next to Mike's Hot Pizza.
Yes.
Okay, so it
Yeah.
wasn't really on the corner. It was
No,
next to
no.
Mike's. Yeah,
The only thing I remember on the corner is the jib shop, as we used to call it.
right, right. They had the big satellite dish for the soccer games,
Yep,
right?
for the soccer games. Yep.
And
the guy who used to run it, he didn't own it.
right,
Was the guy who was disabled? He had
the
a strong arm.
one arm guy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
and I think he was cross-eyed too. The poor guy.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
That stuck in your head. But,
Yeah, yeah.
it was one of those spots. We didn't break balls over there, though. We just passed by, We didn't
Yeah.
bust their balls too much.
Well, you didn't because some of the neighborhood guys would hang
Yeah.
out there too because they had the card games.
Right, right.
You weren't busting their horns.
Right. They had everything you needed for a hangout. They had a card game, espresso
They had
machine,
the
and
foosball game.
and TV.
Yep.
Satellite dish.
Yep.
To pass like by the pizza, like on our block also, like on a Saturday was the day for staying out all day from morning till dinner time, right?
Mhm.
And somewhere we would either get a sandwich at Mimi's or go to the Greeks. You remember the Greeks on the corner, right?
Yeah, on the corner.
That-
The guy used to have like one of them mustaches that used
Yeah.
to curl up.
Yeah. And he had the diner hat.
Best French fries
Yeah.
in the world.
And Frank, 65 cents for the burger, fries, and a soda from the fountain where
From the fountain.
he squirted in the syrup
Yep.
and then added the salsa, and I could see him stirring it, they're stirring it and then giving it to you. 65 cents. That was big for us, like on a Saturday. I don't remember anybody going home for lunch on a Saturday.
No,
We-
no. You never went home.
We were out, we were maybe in the college, we were, playing a game.
If it was cold out, we'd go into White Castle.
Yeah.
Buy hot chocolate and sit
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
hours.
We'll go to White Castle. So we had the Greek White Castle. Mimi's, we would all get a sandwich at Mimi's, and you could either get your balls busted in Mimi's, or or we would be busting his balls for some reason.
Well, he
You know?
was. If you remember, he was always cheap. Remember what we used to call him? Mims
Stein. Right. and there was always a cast of characters in that store. And right next door to Mimi's was Membelli had the candy store there. Then it became Frank's. I don't have
Frank's.
a time frame, but we were still pretty little.
Yeah.
And when we got the sandwiches at Mimi's, we would just cross over to in front of the Ford and Bears Club on the steps, and we eat our sandwiches, outside. We were fresco dining before it became came hip.
I don't remember. Was Vita's open? Was Vita's
No.
open on the weekend?
No. It was
No.
it was only the lucky kids. Like for us, the Mount Carmel guys, we only got Vitas when had one of those odd days when 45 had school, and then we didn't. So those days we can get Vitas, But in the summertime, Vita would stay open for the ladies to sit out and like my mom would bring her beach chair over there. And,
I remember that.
And then some of the ladies would be out there. And then we'd be going for a soda, and she had that. I mean, every piece of candy she had was a penny, right? I mean, for a nickel, you're living at Vita's.
And trust me, I've tried to remake her sandwiches. It don't come out the same.
No, huh?
I tried to remake those sandwiches. I remember the long French bread she used to have,
Yeah,
like the baguettes they were.
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
They call them now.
yeah.
With either bologna and cheese, spice ham and cheese, tuna fish.
The
The
pickles were
pickles.
thinly sliced. The mustard was who knows what. Hey, Frank, that would be a great. I want to start to do some video with the podcast, and all these, that would be if somebody could recreate a Vita sandwich, and then we could do a taste testing. And another thing I was thinking of was a blind taste mozzarella taste testing contest, where because everybody goes crazy, like I was saying in the last episode, the one Casa Mozzarella, this one, yeah. But I have, I got a spot right here in Tuckahoe. Guy is awesome too. So it'd be fun to see people try to, not so good. So
I thought it's funny you should mention that, because I don't know if it was on TV or it was probably not. It was probably on
Facebook or something. Yeah.
Yeah. There was a guy who was explaining the difference between burrata, the three different kind of mozzarellas, and he would cut them up and show you the difference. Shit, I don't remember it.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the cheese you start off with and the textures are different.
Yep.
Either way, I mean, that is delicious stuff. Mozzarella.
You know where else we used to go for pizza? And this would be at nighttime when we got a little older.
Right.
We'd walk up Fordham Road to Fordham and Cambrelling.
Yep.
There was a diner there.
A pizza shop, wasn't it?
What was a diner, pizza shop? Yeah.
Didn't we get the pizza through the window? Like
That's right, through the window. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's like a big journey for us. 5 blocks.
Yeah.
Speaking of Fordham Road, let's test back to Fordham Road. All those spots to eat on Fordham Road. I mean, once you got like down to Webster, you remember Merritt Farms?
Merritt Farms.
What was I know what my favorite was at Merritt Farms, but what about yours? I like the knish, the square knish.
No, Merritt Farms. I like the rotisserie chicken.
Okay, that was good too, and everything was for $1.50 a king over there.
Yep.
In Merritt Farm, and go ahead.
And then when Merritt Farms closed, that one of them sandwich shops went in there. One of them chain shops.
Like a Subway or something like that.
Like before Subway.
Blimpies, yes.
Blimpies.
And Merritt Farms was right on the corner of Fordham and Webster. And then as you moseyed up, there was a place, and it was like a gyro place. And Larry Samili was the only guy that I remember getting a gyro. He had these culinary instincts, and it was on the spit, and it would rotate, and as the raw meat got exposed to the heaters, that's how it cooked it, and the guy would shave it off, and I never had it, but I remember Larry really liking that too.
With the tzatziki sauce.
Yeah. Believe it or not, now I enjoy a gyro sandwich.
Yeah.
I finally, 60 years later, I asked what is this stuff? It's sort of a blend of...
well, they claim it was, back in the day, they claim it was lamb. Yeah, you can get the sandwich for $1. You would get. You ain't getting lamb.
The one that I grabbed from is the gyro is a blend of meat, beef, and lamb. Okay. So it's an interesting, and the meat is burnt to shit. I mean, it's spinning around just cooking and cooking,
That's right. I'll give you one. You remember we used to go all the way up to Jerome Avenue.
Yep.
On the right-hand side remember the Lido Theater used to be there?
The Lido, past the concourse.
Past the concourse,
all
the way up on the right, just before Jerome.
Go ahead.
Around the corner, there was the Telstar Diner.
Oh, the best. But Frank, to me, Telstar was, I think, when we started to drive,
I don't know. Maybe, probably, probably.
I always relate to Telstar because it was open late, and we weren't walking up there at night, either way, no matter how old we were. So I always remember the Telstar, and having a spot that was, I don't know if they were open 24 hours. They were open really late.
I think back then they were open 24 hours.
So the cast of characters that attracted to Telstar, and even the waiters were, I think Saturday Night Live copied that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Right?
Yep, exactly the same thing. Pepsi, no Coke.
Right, because we experienced it. If you told the guy you wanted rice pudding, no whipped cream, they were putting the whipped cream on there. You're going to eat it.
No matter what. Well, the other thing is if you ask for coffee, what they say, drove on.
Yeah, throw one, he would tell the guy. I think those Saturday Night Live guys, they must have took a visit up to Jerome Avenue and checked out those Telstar guys.
Yep.
That was a fun place. But that's a good point too, because we roamed around eating on foot, and then as we got older and somebody got a car, we did some more things. Like I think more associated with the car was even Howard Johnson's, because it was right on Southern Boulevard. Some of the nights they had the fish all you can eat something, and we would go there. The crew. Half the guys, they're big.
I'll give you a good Howard Johnson story. So you remember back in the day, and we could talk about this after 45 on a Sunday. They would have the softball game, Tommy G, Frank the Lions, those guys.
Yep.
So Joe Body, John's father,
right?
He was managing a team, right? So John and I would go there because John and I lived across the street from one another.
Yep.
And we'd buy a pack of cigarettes. We'd walk to Botanical Gardens, go into Botanical Gardens, smoke the whole pack.
Yeah.
Come out, go into Howard Johnson's and steal the mints from the counter. So nobody knew we was smoking.
Right. And I have everybody has a similar type story. You had to smoke the whole pack because you weren't bringing it home.
That's right.
And I think it was really good. Now you never picked up smoking.
No.
Even when all your nights in the nightclubs, you never picked up.
Nope.
I never did, because just for that reason, we would smoke. Yeah. We would chain smoke 5 cigarettes in the college.
Yep.
And then what? And then nobody wanted to bring the pack home. What is this? I don't get the smoking thing. So I never smoked. Did John pick up smoking, or he never?
John smoked for a while.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think for the guys that never picked up smoking, that's a good enough reason. How stupid.
Yeah, it was it just didn't do anything for me at all.
And nobody wanted to bring the pack home.
At least when you bipped it up, you got
a buzz. Right. and the bipping it up tied directly into getting some food.
That's right.
So it really didn't matter, And once we started, I noticed, maybe you can remember. So basically, our thing was, it was pizza, Howard Johnson's, the sandwich shop, the Greeks. But I don't remember where I discovered Chinese food. There was no Chinese takeout in the neighborhood. Am I right?
No, nope. No, I don't remember. Me too. Same thing. I don't remember the first time I ever ate Chinese food.
I remember I had a car. I had a car, so I was probably like 19, and Telstar was on Jerome and Fordham. We would stay on Fordham, go a little bit past Jerome for a block or two. There was a Chinese restaurant on the right side. No takeout. You had to sit down, so you needed to have a few bucks on you. So you had a car, and you had that's where I discovered Chinese food. And we were fortunate enough in Mount Carmel, Frank, every once in a while they'd serve Chinese food for hot lunch, but it was always chicken chow mein.
Chicken chow mein.
Always, it probably came in like a 55-gallon drum or something.
I think that's why I never took the Chinese food, because you couldn't decipher what the hell you were eating.
Right.
It was all mixed together. So I said, I'm not eating that.
And the older, some of the spots, they had pictures of the dishes with the name and the price. They still have that, right?
Yep. The Chinese takeouts will still do that.
I guess what works, you stick with it,
Yep.
And go ahead, yeah.
No, go ahead.
As so that's how I discovered Chinese food. But there was no Mexican. There was,
No.
and as we started to drive, you'll remember this. We went to not South Seas. What was the Hawaiian?
Hawaii Seas.
On Morris Park and Williamsbridge.
Williamsbridge, right?
Right.
It wasn't Morris Park. It was
Past Morris Park.
past Morris Park.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
almost
Yeah,
to the
Hawaii Seas.
Hawaii Sea. And then we would
They
sit
had the
down.
poo-poo
Yeah, there you
platter.
go. So that's where we got our Chinese food chops. But that's a long drive from the neighborhood,
Yeah, yeah.
But it was worth it.
Listen, there is no conversation about food unless you talk about what we used to do on football Sundays
Yeah.
in
And Louis, yeah.
Dominic's.
Oh, Dominic's, right, yeah.
we'd after all was said and done for slips and stuff.
Right.
We'd order food from Dominic's and take it up Louis' house, watch the games. I mean, and that was big time food.
Well, Dominic's, everybody knows, is huge family style dishes. And,
Yep.
and we had the customers to do the damage,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And it was like after we lost the club on Crescent, I think Louis' house became the club. It was right near the field. So almost every Sunday we wound up at 45 Field. Excuse me, Frank. And then we would they would do what they had to do. These guys, they were like working and whatever it
Yep.
was. And then first game came on and we would all watch. Then we'd have this big dinner from Dominic's that take it in. But it was always fun. Like I know you and I didn't even bet on the sheets. I was just not either too cheap or unlucky, whatever my reason. But to see these guys that bet on the games, how they could, for $10. The guy that bet $2 on the game against the guy that bet 1,000, they would root against each other,
Yeah.
But nobody ever got kicked out. Nobody ever got no fights. And
No.
and when the food came, it was like the calming of the seas,
That was it.
And then the first game would be over, and then the second game they start all over again. But we had a good
Yep.
cast of characters up
Yep.
there. It was let's see, it was Eddie Boots, right? Larry, Chino,
yeah.
me, you, Louie, Googie, sure.
Yeah, we all went up there. I think every once in a while Louis would be there.
Yeah. She put and then we would bust her balls a little bit.
Yeah.
Thinking before too about some of the places we went to eat that were close and some that were far, and like none of us had bikes. I don't think we ever went. Googie had a bike.
No.
But
Googie had a bike.
But he would ride it from Bathgate over to the Hoffman. That was it, and back home.
Yeah.
But you're never going to see us 3 or 4 of us with a bike going somewhere. Nobody had a bike,
No.
and it's not like
we were pretty poor.
yeah.
We were pretty poor.
So
Well, the other place you got to remember Jitney's.
yeah. How can I forget? Good call.
Talk about just the reason it hit my mind is because he was a bike shop.
Yeah.
He
Right.
sold bikes and he sold those big ass hot dogs.
Yeah. The only place in the Bronx you can get a hot dog with sweet and hot onions and pick up a little 5-speed, 10-speed bike.
Yep.
He had the peppers growing down, off the shop in there where he kept the cart.
Where he kept the cart. That's right.
And then the cars, like on a Saturday, they would be double, triple parked.
Yep.
And nobody's getting one hot dog at Jitney's. You're getting 10 when you go there, especially if you come with a car. You're taking them somewhere. Yeah, forgot about Jitney's. Good call.
And then the different kind of hot dog was Gorman's.
Yeah, that's right.
Talking about going up Fordham Road.
Yeah, we should have kept walking up Fordham Road, because now I'm going to ask you, is Gorman's and Nedick's the same or two separate places?
Two separate places.
And they both roll. They both cook the hot dogs on those rolly things, right?
Yep, yep. Well,
And,
I think Gorman's was a flat grill. Nedick's was the rolling thing.
so, and Gorman's, you're saying they sliced them and grilled them.
They sliced them and grilled them, and then they toasted the bun.
Yeah,
They would put the bun on top of the hot dog.
and Nedick's had that orange juice, like a high C kind of a drink or something. Is that?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they were, so there you go. Between, like, they weren't even a full block apart. Two hot dog spots.
Yep.
You know, and if you could picture Fordham Road where all the stores were.
And across the street, right next to the RKO Fordham, was that hamburger place.
That's right.
They used to cook the hamburgers on
In the
an open
window.
grill.
In the window.
In the window. The window would be all fogged up.
Yeah. Well, what's the name of that spot, Frank?
I don't know. Every once in a while, somebody posts a picture on Facebook, but
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, because it was they would cook him in the window on the grill there, and there was a counter kind of a thing, and you would just belly up to the counter,
Yep.
and get your and get what you wanted, and it usually tied in, with a movie. You know, as a youngster, I mean, my mother took me to the movies. Now let's face it, when you're 7, 8,
Yeah.
except for the dumps, right?
The dumps.
Yeah. We could spend all day.
One more place that I don't know the name of. I was talking about, you go for hamburgers, right? If you walked up to the concourse on the corner, there was Floor Shine,
Yep.
right? And then around the corner there was a bake shop, like a German bakery.
German bake shop. Yep.
And I don't remember the name of that. And then on the other side of Fordham Road, if you came up Fordham Road and you made the left, there'd be Crumbs there.
Crumbs. Yep.
And across the street was the Paradise.
You know, you'd always see folks. You know, a lot of people from the neighborhood took the bus up to Jerome or to Concourse and took the train to Manhattan, and you would see people coming home from work with a Crumbs bag or something. Since they're up Fordham Road, they're going to pick up something, you know. And then since we're talking about crumb buns, let's go with the spot right there on Arthur.
Yeah,
Charles
Bakery.
Charles on the Hudson, Charles on the Ritz, whatever they used to nickname him.
Charles Bakery.
Always a cast of characters in there. You can get a couple of eggs over at the counter.
Yeah.
Across the other side was a great bake shop. The crumb buns were killer.
Yep.
Delicious stuff. I know.
Well, actually, I don't know if you remember, there was another German bakery underneath the 3rd Avenue L, right where you used to go up on, I forget if that was 183rd Street. There was a bar on the corner, and around the corner there was a German bakery.
Do not remember that.
And the reason I remember that is Abunanima Ralphie Bobo.
Okay.
Right? We on a Sunday, I forget when. It might have been during the week, but me, Ralphie Bobo, and you remember Nicky Simeone?
Yeah, of course, yes.
So we would go there and buy 15 and knock them out. We'd go in the club.
Yeah.
On 3rd Avenue instead of go. I remember because I was enrolled in Bronx Community College, and I didn't go. We used to go there, buy 15 buns, go in the club, and knock them out.
Yeah. I always thought of the 3rd Avenue L as a line of demarcation. I didn't cross it too much. You know, I didn't go on that side too much. But I don't remember that bakery.
It was excellent. Excellent.
That was a good spot, too. And another thing that always sticks in my head is the Mount Carmel candy store with the egg cream. Egg
creams.
In a glass. You know? No paper cups. So, you had to stay there. You browsed the comic books. And I always I always liked one of those.
And you could barely fit 5 people in there.
Right, right. And some of the gamblers with looking at the racing form, that chair that seat was never coming back till after post time.
That's right.
So I would always remember, especially being an altar boy. After you did your mass or funeral, usually you weren't running back to school. It was a nice walk, and I would stop in the candy store at Mount Carmel, Kansas, get an egg cream and get one of the soft pretzels and stay there because you weren't taking the glass out. And then I would nurse that thing and finally walk back. And I really, Frank, I would walk like all the way down Hughes to 189th, then all the way up, then down Arthur. I would do like I was in a maze just to stretch out, get into school. But those egg creams were sweet. And then I remember somewhere along the line they switched to like a paper cup. That's like should be against the law. Having an egg cream in a paper cup with the plastic lid and the straw. No.
It's funny. I mean, I'm sure in other neighborhoods like ours, they recognize egg creams. You talk to people about egg creams, they ask you, "What the hell are you talking about?" Same thing like Manhattan Special.
Yeah.
Yes, I knew a guy I worked with. He was from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He didn't know anything about Manhattan Specials.
Yeah. I had to explain to my wife because that's, look, I'm figuring right now I'm going to drink some soda in my day. I hit to a point, with 72 this year, I'm going to drink some. I'm not buying a 64 ounce Pepsi and bringing it home and guzzling. But if I'm out, slice of pizza, a nice Italian combo, I'm having a Pepsi or a Manhattan Special. So my 100%. Wife, she's going. She sees me with the Manhattan Special. She never heard of it. Jersey girl, never heard of it. And she doesn't even drink espresso, let alone she's never going to try it. And I wanted her to try it just to taste how much sugar is in the friggin'.
Oh my God! I can't drink the regular. The regular ones. I got to drink the diet ones because the other ones are just so sweet.
Oh, knock you right out. Delicious.
Oh my God.
I love it. And
you know what they used to do before we were in the jib shop. The guy, with the short arm and he was, they used to make there in the summertime. They would draw the coffee, put the coffee in the freezer, and it was like having an ice pop of black coffee.
Oh, delicious!
And that was so good. Yep.
Yeah. And Manhattan Special in the prime not every deli had it. Not everybody had it. So it was a real novelty to when they probably started out, they were making it in a garage somewhere.
Sure.
And it was a one of a kind thing, and I still enjoy them. And they're not. It's not it looks like about a 10-ounce bottle, Frank. Maybe it's not as much as a can of soda. So it's easy to, goes down. You're not leaving any behind. I still enjoy it. It's one of the things I still enjoy immensely from going there. Once we started to drive, talking about Chinese food, I remember us going up to a similar place to Hawaii Sea. I think South Sea. It was on Central Avenue in Yonkers. Did you ever go up there?
On Central Avenue. I don't remember going to South Sea because I was not a Chinese food eater.
Okay.
I would rather go to the hot dog place.
Yeah. We hit them all on Fordham Road. That was good stuff. And to sit down, like I said, we went to the dances. We'd come home.
Mm-hmm.
We'd have a big night out. Somebody's parent probably either picked us up at the dance, and then we went for a slice or something like that.
Well, the famous restaurant wasn't in the neighborhood, was on Gun Hill Road. It was part owned by the guy who was Sylvester Stallone's brother-in-law in the movie Rocky.
Oh, I just saw that guy on the show. Not a short, stocky guy.
Yeah, short. I don't remember his name, but the restaurant was Il Buscetto.
El Buscetto. Fancy.
Yep, it was
Yeah.
fancy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you only went there with a date,
I remember.
and we didn't have too many
No,
dates.
no, no. Unless somebody one of you guys had a date, and I had to go with the cousin or the sister.
Yeah, right.
That was the only date I was getting. Yeah. All right. What about my sister? All right, Paulie will go with you. Good stuff. And then since we're really going up there, that's where the first McDonald's was, I believe, like for us in the Bronx, was
Yes, on Gun Hill
on Gun
Road.
Hill Road. So for
Yep.
sure, we weren't going there. We would,
Yeah.
when we used to go to school, uh, Gary's father Tony would drive us, or we would go up Boston Road, and there was I think it was Twin Donuts on the right there. So
I remember the name. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. It wasn't Dunkin' Donuts. It was one of the first donut shops. And we would get a coffee and a donut, and then we
Yep.
would, Lab would go to work, and I think Gary took the car, and we continued up to Mount. So
Yep.
in the early days, I think, how young were you, Frank, when you started to drink coffee?
I don't know, Paul.
I tell you,
I didn't drink coffee at home because my mother didn't drink coffee.
ah,
So
I remember drinking coffee like my whole life because my mother and
yeah,
father both drank the coffee,
yeah,
and it was this whole ritual to where my mother would. It was a big glass percolator. It was glass. It was big, so you were making, who the frick knows, maybe 10 cups of coffee,
yeah. That
but
would sit on the stove for the day. Yeah,
right, and then she would put it in a jar and put it in the
yeah,
refrigerator, and
yeah.
then the next day she would boil the milk and then add the cold coffee to it, and then we would I'll show you, we would put the Italian bread under the oven, and you didn't we
Oh
didn't we
yeah,
weren't
yeah, yeah. Yes,
we
we
weren't
used to.
drinking the coffee in a mug like it's a giant's mug. It was we call it a scudilla. Ever hear? Is that just an expression, a scudilla? That's what we called
Yeah,
it.
I don't remember that.
And we would, I'm talking, dunking those big Italian bread
Italian bread. Yeah,
right in the
yeah.
bowl with the coffee,
Uh
and
huh.
then, and that's one of those things I still enjoy. I don't have, I don't have a scudilla, but I was telling my wife the same story, and we had gone to that Italian place on Arthur Avenue with all the imported stuff. We bought a nice pasta bowl. I'm
Hmm.
gonna go see if they have these scudillas. And maybe I'll get Frank. Maybe I'll get some kick the can scudillas.
There you go.
The marketing guys on it, right, Matt?
Well, the other thing you used to dunk in coffee, I remember because my mother had a friend who lived on Crescent Avenue. Remember Nat's Candy Store?
Yeah, sure.
So she lived in the building above Nat's, and we would go to her house, and they had you'd buy these things in the bakeries, Frizzell,
Frizzell's, okay.
and they were round. You know, it looked like a little loaf of bread, but it was round.
Uh huh.
But it was really hard, and you dunk that in the
Soften it
coffee.
up.
Yep, yep,
Frizzell's, yeah.
yep.
Everybody had, a trick or
Yep.
two. And there was even like Nat's, there was Mount Carmel Candy Store, Nat's.
Nat's was a toy store and a candy store.
Yeah.
He had the toys like on the shelves, and then if you walked in, he had a bunch of, I don't know if they were barrels or boxes or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
with all the like the 2 cents candies or the penny candies.
Right. And
All
right across the street, there was another candy store.
Yes.
But
I,
now,
don't- I, yeah.
and for some reason, I think about the snow cones in there. That ring any bells? We would get the snow cones.
The candy snow cones are the ones he used to
The
pour the
one,
stuff on.
yeah, the one he used to put the stuff on.
Nah, I don't.
And,
I remember we had a bunch of guys who would roam around, shaving the ice. I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
How about the diners, right? You used to go to Thruway Diner.
yep.
We used to go to the Red Coach
Thruway Diner for
right
sure.
on Boylston Road, the Baychester.
Yeah, Baychester Diner.
Yeah, like
Thruway, Thruway
if we
Diner.
were out,
We were always in New Rochelle. That would be a spot, Thruway Diner.
yes,
Well, I told the story
yes,
about that affair. So much
yeah,
fun,
yeah,
and there were things that I didn't really remember minute by minute, but I think I got the gist of it.
the gist of it.
Yeah, it was a fun night.
And then, speaking of Baychester, if you on Baychester Avenue, the first that I remember, the first Wetsons,
And Wetson's was a hamburger.
like a hamburger place. It was a McDonald's rival, but they
Oh,
never made
okay.
it.
And probably soggy French fries.
Yeah, they were on Baychester.
Yeah. Well, we were lucky to have the White Castle
Uh,
right in our
Still,
lane.
I'm lucky enough here in Rockland to have a White Castle.
Yeah, I
So every once in a while, I'll go in there buy 4 or 5 doubles and a
yeah.
Pepsi.
A couple of weeks ago, one of the guys at work was up in Rockland. We're doing something up there, either Nanuet or somewhere, and the kid
Yeah,
brought
it's
back
not wet.
a box of 40.
Yeah,
He,
yeah,
he bought 20 regular cheeseburgers, and 20 was some kind of jalapeno. I felt like it was, we're Castle purists.
yeah.
We were
You
up in
can't
arms,
bastardize
you
those.
know.
No, no, no.
So that's when I posted the picture of the two White Castle cans, the packaging.
Yeah.
Classic. Those White Castles are
That
classic.
happened a couple when I first moved into the development here. There's a guy, him and his wife are from the Bronx, and we were talking about food and all that. And what do we talk about? White Castles.
Yeah.
So he leaves the pool and he comes back with a case of White Castles because
Ah,
I'm only 20 minutes
yeah.
from Nanuet, so
Give
he
that
comes
guy.
back with a case of White
Yeah,
Castles.
give that guy a round of applause. He's thinking,
Yeah,
and,
yep.
and I saw back to the White Castle. I saw something in the newspaper, the Journal News online, that people make reservations for Valentine's Day at
Valentine's
the White.
Day.
Have you heard
Yes,
about this?
yes, yes. Yeah, that's the thing now.
How the hell? Matt. I think we got to kick the can on the road, and
For
go
Valentine's
talk
Day.
to some people there. You know,
Yeah,
I think it's the one in Yonkers, and maybe up by you it might be the other one, Frank. I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Because they just remodeled
Yonkers,
the one by me, and they have
yeah,
a nice sit down area.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I don't. I'm trying to remember. We really didn't buy White Castles that often. If
No.
we bought them. We left. We left. The
Yeah,
only thing I remember eating inside White Castle was the hot chocolates when it was cold
yeah,
out.
yeah. We would always take it away, and
Yeah,
you know, the hamburgers were 6 cents, if I remember the way back. And then every once in a while, in the Daily News, you can get a coupon where you get them for 5 cents. Could you imagine, Frank? This is, and we, not that we needed a reason to get White Castles, but we,
I'll tell you a funny story about White Castle. When we moved up here, I didn't know initially that they had a White Castle, but um, you used to have to go to the supermarket, right? And they would sell them in the boxes with the cellophane wrappers,
frozen or fresh? Frozen.
frozen,
Yeah, yeah,
frozen,
yeah. I've heard about that.
right? And they don't taste the same.
No, no, no.
So what I did was I went to the White Castle. I bought a couple. I saved the boxes, and I microwaved the White Castle that I got out of
From the
the freezer
supermarket.
and put it in the box. And don't you know that it was just like regular White Castles?
It's all in the
So
box.
it's in the box. So what do I do? I thought I was going to get rich. I send a text because you can get the information. I send a text to White Castle, the company,
Yeah.
and told them about this. Would you know, I got a call from a marketing guy at White Castle, and what does he do? He sends me 50 boxes plain with nothing in them. 50 boxes, and I still have the book, the history of White Castle.
If you come across it, if it's in your apartment and not in your storage, send me a picture of that White Castle book. Because
I will.
I think
I will.
anything White Castle, like for us,
Yeah.
like even I had the hamburgers about a month. I had to take a picture of those containers and put them up because, we just go. It's just such a memory for us and everybody from the neighborhood. And
On Facebook, there's a White Castle site, so you could log in. People post stuff all the time.
unbelievable, good stuff. Oh man, oh man.
I'm trying to think of anywhere else where we used to go.
You know, it comes to you, and we didn't go far. I mean, New
No, we could.
Rochelle
Well, we couldn't. We couldn't.
with
Yeah,
cars, that was a stretch.
yeah.
I don't. Oh, here's another good one. Maybe you remember this one. Greasy Nick's on Shore Road. Have you ever went there?
Oh, sure.
Right?
Was it on Shore Road or was
Yeah,
it
yeah, Shore
going up
Road.
all the way up Boston Road?
No,
Uh,
it was on. You're thinking of the Wedge Inn.
the Wedge Inn. Yeah,
Yeah, that was for like the hot rod guys.
yeah,
It was. No, but the Wedge Inn, Frank, might have been another one of those places open all night on the weekend or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
And the hot rod guys would accumulate at the Wedge Inn. And then in the middle of the night, they just go another block or two and go on the Hutch and drag race. Because there were a few guys in the group that were hot rodders, later on, the souped up
Yeah.
cars. And the Greasy Nicks was on Shore Road.
No,
If
I
you
don't remember. I mean, I know the name, but I don't think I ever went there.
if you went past, there's the two golf courses. They're still in the Bronx, up
Yes.
Shore Road.
Yeah,
I
there's
forget.
one in Pelham Bay Park, and I forget.
And there's a golf place. I forget the name of it. And
Not
then
the
as you
Springs, not the
cross over
Springs.
to New Rochelle, on the left side was it's called, the sign said Lino's Hamburgers Grill or something. And apparently the kid there was a relative of Jay Leno, so Leno's,
Okay.
But you always thought it was Lino's. And you would get the corn on the cob that was in the water for days, and the greasiest hamburgers with the greasiest onions. But like
Yeah.
for me, it was always a cool spot because like when I had the motorcycle, it was just a nice ride to head down Pelham Parkway and go up Shore Road, and then grab a lunch. So you really didn't go
I
far.
forgot you were a motorcycle guy.
Yeah, I had the motorcycle. Who would think? Now,
Yeah.
now, if you ride a motorcycle, you gotta be where people are not just not paying attention
Yeah.
and not really abiding by the rules. I get the urge to go on a motorcycle, but I would go like as soon as the sun came up, like on a Sunday morning when there's only the drunks and nobody else.
When you think of it, that was not such a good idea when only the drunks were out.
Yeah, but at least you figure you don't have regular traffic because
Yeah.
they're just when you had the motorcycle. And Frank, that's like 1970, maybe the late 70s for me with the motorcycle, and that was a lot of fun too. Had a whole group of guys. Stevie Gus.
Yep.
He rode with us a couple of times.
Yeah.
It would attract. You would find some people like from the neighborhood that had motorcycles. Not many, unless Bobby Bear and Jake and those those are the older guys.
Older guys,
And
yeah.
I felt honored that they would let me like ride with them, a few times because they were the big guys. They
Well,
had,
the favorite destination was Orchard Beach.
yeah.
I remember all the bikers used to
Yeah.
ride to Orchard Beach.
Yeah. And as for myself, a nice spot for me was the Kensico Dam. You just take
Okay.
the Bronx River Parkway like almost to
Yep.
the end. And in those days, you could go right in with the motorcycle. And then the road ended right under the dam. And it was a nice ride because it was maybe a little bit over a half hour. And you got your you got your fix because a motorcycle was a kind of a fix kind of a thing,
Yeah.
like an adrenaline thing, and it was the kind of thing you could go. Motorcycle's fun when you got other guys, but if you're going to solo or you bring somebody on the back, it was a nice destination spot, the Kensico Dam. That was a good times for me too. Maybe we could put a picture of the motorcycle up, Matt. We're going from food to motorcycles, but that's
Well,
what we
well-
do. That's what we do.
Well, and the last thing, the elephant in the room is 45 Field.
Yeah.
You posted that picture
Yeah.
of it being torn
Oh
apart.
boy.
Now I know that because I talked to my brother-in-law Ronnie, had been in the neighborhood. They didn't take the handball wall
Nope,
down.
that's still there.
That's
You,
still
you
there,
can
so you
see
don't
it on
know.
my video. You
Yeah,
can see it.
yeah,
I,
yeah. I mean, so many memories of sports and 45.
hanging
Geez,
out and
basketball, box ball,
uh,
all kind.
they played
Softball,
a
football,
stick ball. They played it two
stickball.
ways.
Yeah,
They played it the
yep.
long way, and they played it up against the wall with the box
Up
on the
against the
wall.
wall with the box on the
Yeah,
wall.
and the basketball courts. I mean, you were always there,
Yeah,
and you can. There was no net, no chain. It was just the
yeah. No
rim.
net. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. And as the asphalt started to settle, it became even taller in regulation.
Yeah, yep. With
So it looks
so the
like it,
water.
it it needs
Yeah,
a facelift there. I'm thinking that maybe they're going to fix it because I think the teachers park there. If I don't,
yeah,
I
yeah. The teachers used to park in there.
so they would still need that parking for the teachers because
I guess so.
there's
Yeah.
nowhere to park around there.
Well, hopefully, they won't because I told you I heard heard a rumor about for that Fordham bought the property and is
Yeah,
going to
it's
put housing
possible.
there. I hope not,
Yeah,
but you know what? But the field goes unused. I mean, I've passed by there many times.
yeah.
There's nobody there.
Good, good
When we
point.
were kids,
You couldn't even get
when
it.
we
You
were
couldn't even get a
kids,
spot.
you couldn't get on there if you wanted to.
You had to
There was
wait.
always wait.
Yeah,
Basketball, the handball courts were always full.
yeah.
But you pass by there now, before nothing.
It was the perfect location for
Yep,
people to come from on the other side of Mount Carmel, Washington Avenue,
yep,
the Badgate guys, 187. They would
yep,
all come over. All of us from our side of the field. It's just
yep,
and all age groups, like you were saying before, the men's league. Then
yep.
we played touch football like in early years of high school. Uh, I just thought about. I just was thinking about the blocks, and I thought of 187, and then another thing, Frank, we forgot to is Benny's Bar right down at the end of
Benny's. Oh my
187.
God, that was Googie's home away from
He
home.
had, he had his own seat there.
He had
Googie.
his own
You
seat
know,
at the end of the bus.
looking back, I'm so glad that he was always there when we went.
Yeah.
That was our meeting place.
Yep.
The guys that were going to go out would meet there. The guys that weren't going out, like something like if I had a girlfriend or I wasn't going out to the bars and clubs, I would
Yep.
still go there because everybody was there. So you
Yeah. Oh
had,
yeah.
and they weren't checking ID. You can
No.
go.
No. Yeah. Right.
And-
And their pizza. Their pizza was good too.
Exactly. The pizza was good.
Pizza
And what
was
was the
good.
other thing there? Steak sandwich or something that
Steak
was good?
sandwiches. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what did we play? It was
They had
the bowling with you put
bowling,
the
like the
sawdust.
shuffleboard gun. Yeah.
You put
The
the
sawdust.
sawdust on the thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Benny's bar.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And two, it was. I think about Googie because even though you can catch up a little bit with Googie, and then he wasn't coming with us. We weren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a little pleasure to have extended because everybody you talked to. I mean, Googie was a gem of a guy.
Oh, jeez. Couldn't find a better person.
Yeah, we were so fortunate
Yep. Yep.
to have him. Man, oh man.
One other place that just popped into my mind.
Yeah.
Not that I went there a lot. The Roma Cafe,
Roma
right,
Cafe.
right next to on the corner of Borgatti's.
On the corner of a guy, on the same block,
Same, right next to Borgatti's.
right next to Bugatti's.
The Roma Cafe, which interestingly enough, going way back, used to be a funeral home.
That's what I thought. I was going to
Used
just
be a
ask you
funeral
that.
home.
I
Then they sold it, and they put a cafe in there, the Roma Cafe.
I thought maybe I had it wrong. Maybe the funeral home was just across the street on that same corner, but
Nope,
no. So the
nope.
funeral home was. I do remember that,
Yep, yep,
and the Roma Cafe
yep.
was good. And
Then all the pastry shops,
All those stores just in that 2 block stretch.
Egidio,
Yeah.
Artuzo's.
Yeah.
There used to be another restaurant next to Artuzo's who had good food. The Capri,
The Capri. On
right
the
next to
on the
Artuzo's.
187 side or the
Yeah,
Camberling side?
right on adjacent to Artuzo's,
Right next to Artuzo's.
right next to it. The
Yeah.
Roma, the Capri.
Yeah.
Across the street was the original Casa del Disco,
A
which was
record store or a disc?
it was a record store,
Yeah.
owned by Italian guys.
Yeah. Well, there was a record store too. We were just talking about Vanacore, Mike's Hot Pizza. Wasn't there a record store over there too?
I don't remember. There was a candy store there. There was a candy store about in the middle of the block.
Yeah, that I
next to,
remember. I could have
next to
sworn there
next
was a
to
record store.
yeah, there might have been.
But
There might have
I
been.
think most of our records we went to Modell's was the record store we pretty much went up on Fordham.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever had a record player, the
Well, you were the only guy I knew who had a record
yeah, on top of the washing machine.
player.
Talking about the Blockwood Borgatti's, we got to give a shout out to Danny's Fork Store, of
Danny's
course.
Fork Store, absolutely.
And if you caught it right on a Saturday, and if you moseyed by, you always would go in and say hi to Mr. and Mrs. Calaro. It just so
Yeah.
happened he might be making a little something in the back, and you walk out of there with a little like a Vita-sized sausage, no peppers, no, just sausage on bread.
Yep.
Yeah, they were always good like that, you know. And
Yeah, they were always good to my mother. I remember.
yeah,
But,
me too. And you know, they knew just good people. You know, Frank, just good
Yep.
people. Glad to know him. I'm glad I still spend a lot of time with Danny. I'm really lucky to have that. You know, and then his folks are great too. I always shout out to those guys. Yeah, that's good. Oh. How you doing
all right,
over there,
so
Frank?
How long? How long have we been on?
I don't know, but I go by. I drank a whole glass of water, and my tongue is like sandpaper. How we doing, Matt? Where are we?
An hour.
We went 1 hour. We're good, Frank.
All right.
I'm happy.
All right. Good. Yeah.
All right. And like I said, I always appreciate. Oh, congratulations on becoming a grandfather.
Oh, thank you.
Let's
Appreciate
go
it.
with the good news. We always like good
Yeah.
news here.
Yeah.
Kick the can. We're big
Yep.
on the good news. Not so good. We don't want the bad. So
No,
that's
no.
great. You know, we're having a ball. Matt and I now. My granddaughter is 18 months.
Wow.
Every day is a blast. We just it was my wife's birthday. It was a 3-day event, Frank. You know, 3 days birthday. Da, 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 da. But we got to spend a lot of time with the baby. Really a lot of fun. Yeah,
Outstanding.
really lucky in a lot of ways. So
Yep.
keep the wheels spinning. Coming
Absolutely.
up, I think next one up, I'm going to do some kind of Super Bowl thing with Larry. He's feeling better.
He is, okay,
He's
good.
feeling a little better. He's still getting good reports. Not seeing well, but I want him to come on and help me with these Super Bowls because, you know, Frank, we went to 17 Super Bowls before.
Oh, my goodness.
Before it became really what it is now. So we have some
Yeah.
good stories, some good
All right.
pictures. So we'll try to get that out for everybody right around the Super Bowl, maybe a little bit before. Matt thinks we should get it recorded up and then release it on Super Bowl Sunday. So that's our plan.
I wouldn't release it on Super Bowl Sunday. Who's going to listen?
Yeah, well, they can listen the next day.
Maybe the day
Day
before.
after or the day before?
The day before.
Yeah.
The day before.
Look at Frank. He's always thinking there, Matt. And then I'm going to go down to Florida, and I'm
All
going
right.
to try to do a remote with Danny. He doesn't know about it.
That would be great. Wow.
I'm going to try to either bring Matt down or we'll boat. We don't know. We're not good, Frank. As you learned from tonight, we're not good with the technical part. We're
Well,
better.
I am.
We're
Trust
better with
me,
the
I know.
we're better with the ideas.
Yep.
But we'll keep you posted, and I'll talk to you soon just to catch
All right.
up.
This
All
was
right.
fun. Take it easy.
Thank you, Frank.
So long.
Bye
Take
now.
it easy.